Yes guys, and welcome back guys to a brand new video guys on my channel guys. And yes guys, we are going to be talking about Manchester United's last game that we went and played. Fulham guys, at Old Trafford, at home guys, in the FA Cup quarter-final guys. And yes guys, I was at this game yet again. There's no match day vlog, but hopefully if I do get to another game while I'm back here in the UK, I will hopefully do a match day vlog. But enough of me blabbing now. Anyway guys, let's get straight into today's videos. We made 5 changes from last game against West Ham. Talking about the starting 11, so we started with De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, Martinez, Shaw, McTominay, Sabitzer, Sancho, Fernandes, Rashford and Weghorst. Getting into the overall reaction now. Man United come from behind to beat 9-man Fulham. Yes, get in. We're on our way to Wembley. Wembley, here we come. What a crazy game. What a win, what a result, great comeback. We got away with it, we got lucky, we did it in fergie time, we made it hard work for ourselves, found a way to win. Great result, a win is a win. We weren't convincing, but we will take it. We won ugly, got the job done, we did what we had to do. We showed great team spirit, character and fight. Obviously, it was a slow start for Manchester United. We couldn't get hold of the midfield. Fulham were controlling the game. Weghorst had a good chance. Sabitzer had a chance as well. De Gea made a good save to keep us in the game. United had 3 chances, but haven't really tested the goalkeeper. United are too slow on the ball. Ball constantly going between the defenders because there's no link from midfield to attack. Been some good passages of play. Fulham are playing long. Again, another slow start in the second half. De Gea makes a great save. Made a few world-class saves in that second half as well to keep us in the game. Had a close chance. It had been coming and Fulham scored for 1-0. Fulham took control. Bruno had a chance and had brought on Antony to change the game. Good reaction after going 1-0 down. United got the front foot and tried to make things happen. Fulham lost their heads and collapsed. 3 red cards in 60 seconds. Bruno scores a great penalty for 1-1. United picked up the pace, picked up the intensity and the tempo, pressed Fulham high up the pitch. Sabitzer scores for 2-1. United took more control. United were dominating the game. United put the pressure on. Bruno scores again for 3-1. Not many players didn't have a great game. Game management and decision making was vital. First half was shit. Second half was better. Overall, okay performance. Win done and through to the semi-finals. Anyway guys, let's get straight to today's video now. What did I make of the performance? I think the performance overall as a whole, I thought it was okay. I don't think it was a great performance overall. We're not at our very best. It was, like I stated there, I thought the first half was shit and the second half was much better. I thought we saw a reaction in the second half as well, obviously when we went 1-0 down as well. Obviously it was a setback when we conceded as well. But obviously going into a game like this against Fulham, we always knew it was going to be tough. It was going to be difficult. We've seen the way how Fulham play. You know they've got some fantastic quality of players out there on the pitch as well. I was at this game as well, so to witness this game live a couple of days ago was a great experience to be there. Obviously, my first FA Cup game that I've been to as well. So it was a great experience to be there at that game to obviously witness it and obviously to see Manchester United progress into the semi-finals as well. So, but I thought overall, I thought the performance was okay / good. I don't think it was great. We're not at our very best. I thought we could have performed better. Obviously, United would have been favourites to win this game, but obviously Fulham gave us a good game though from start to finish. But we made it hard work for ourselves. We made it tough for ourselves in times. And obviously this was the first game for Casemiro to miss his game as well. So we knew it was always going to be difficult to get hold of that midfield as well, yet again. So, United are a lot different, a much different team without Casemiro not there as well. And I think it's shown in this game yet again. And every game now for the next 3 games after the international break, those games against Brentford, Newcastle and Everton, it's just going to make it a lot more harder for ourselves. And it's all about finding that right balance in the midfield. And I think we eventually found that right balance in the midfield as well in the second half. Obviously, we had to come from behind to win the game. And, it was obviously great team spirit, great determination, great character as well, and great fight as well. But yeah, I thought, performance overall as a whole, it wasn't great. It wasn't our best performance out there, but we had to work hard for it in the end. And, we won it ugly yet again. And but, we're on our way to Wembley now. Wembley, here we come. It was a crazy game. Obviously, they went down to 9 men as well. But, you know, overall, it was a great comeback from 1-0 down. But we got lucky once again. And but teams like Manchester United and quality teams like United, you know, have found a way to win at the end of the day. And that's what quality teams do. They always find a way to win. And we did it fantastically well. You know, I was going to say fantastic performance, but it wasn't really. But at the end of the day, it was a great result. A win is a win. We take it, but we just know that we're going to have to perform much better in the semi-final now at Wembley Stadium as well. So we have to be able to be a lot more better than that in the semi-final against Brighton. That's not going to be easy as well. So no games are easy. You have to take it one game at a time, and we have to be ready for Brighton in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, getting into the game now. I thought the first half had kicked off. I thought, you know, slow start for Manchester United. You know, we've not been great, you know, starting halves that well. We've not been really coming out on the front foot, you know, aggressive right away. We've been starting halves very slow of late as well. I think that needs to be talked about after the international break as well. But it was a slow start for United. Obviously, you know, we couldn't get hold of that midfield. I think that was another big talking point as well in the game, because obviously, you know, when obviously we started in the midfield with McTominay, Sabitzer, Bruno, and obviously it's nice to see Sabitzer come back into the fold and get a run out as well. Nice to see Sabitzer get his first goal for the club as well, which I'm proud and happy about to see as well myself when I was there at the game. But obviously, McTominay was just not helping Manchester United whatsoever. You could see it, and you know, when we were passing the ball around, you know, just giving away possession too easily. You know, Fulham just, Fulham were just controlling the game, and you know, but there was spells where we had some good passages of play. You know, I think we were not too bad, but still, it wasn't. It was shit in the first half. You know, obviously Weghorst had a big chance as well. Obviously, you know, there was just no real power into it as well. And then obviously Sabitzer also had a chance as well. And but obviously, you know, Fulham obviously came out on the front foot. You know, they dominated the first half, controlled it very well. And then obviously, you know, De Gea made a few good saves to keep us in the game. But the thing is, though, United had three good chances, but they hadn't really tested the goalkeeper, and we didn't really, you know, make him challenge for that ball as well. And I think the one thing that pissed me off as well in that game was that we were too slow moving that ball. There was just no intensity, no tempo, no energy, no intent, no aggression about us. You know, we were playing it too safe and not taking any risks, not trying to be brave at all. And I think that's what we were not great in the first half. We could have took the game to them a little bit more. You know, this was the final game before the international break, so you had to give everything that you had as well. So that's why Fulham were giving it everything that they had as well, because they were the much better team in the first half as well. And you have to agree that as Manchester United fans, that they were a much better team in the first half, because they were as well. But then obviously you know, the ball constantly was going between the defenders because there was just no link from the midfield to the attack. And, you know, we just kept passing it around too much. And it was just going between the defenders. And, you know, when we did get on the attack, you know, there were some good passages of play. We were not too bad in them, but we were just not as effective as we could have been. And, you know, we were not as dangerous, and we were not that, you know, we didn't use that initiative, and we were not that proactive on the front foot to cause them problems as well. And I don't think we did that well. But, you know, and obviously I picked up on it as well. Fulham were playing long. You know, they were playing long in that first half. They were not interested of, sticking to their game plan, but there was obviously spells where they were going long all the time as well. But when they got it into some good areas, some good positions, they obviously hurt us as well. And obviously they were dangerous as well, and that was how well could Wan-Bissaka, could deal with Willian as well. And obviously, you know, that João Paulinho just took control of that midfield as well. But yet again, though, in the second half, we had a slow start. Not a good start again. We're already on the back foot in the second half, you know. Obviously, they come out aggressive. You know, we gave away a couple of corners. Could have been better in terms of the game management as well. Obviously, De Gea makes a few decent saves as well to keep us in the tie as well. We came with a close chance as well. Didn't take that chance though. But then, you know, it had been coming, and obviously for the first 5 minutes they just put the pressure onto us, and silly mistake, and no one closed down Mitrovic. Luke Shaw was on the wrong side of Mitrovic. They just take advantage and score for 1-0. And then obviously then they took control. Bruno had a good chance as well. I think dragged wide. And then obviously that was when Ten Hag had to react and bring on some substitutions. The right move was to take off McTominay for Antony. I think he got the substitutions bang on right as well. And obviously I thought Antony came on to change the game. He made an impact as well, you know, took on players as well. I thought there was a good reaction after we went 1-0 down as well. We started to get on the front foot and try to make things happen. You know, Fulham obviously then lost their heads and collapsed as well, and that pretty much helped Manchester United as well in this tie as well. There was 3 red cards in a space of 60 seconds. Obviously, the penalty appeal happened. I don't know why they were, you know, going against it when it was a clear handball, so I don't know what they're trying to claim. And obviously Marco Silva gets sent off. Obviously then Willian gets sent off for the handball. Mitrovic then gets sent off for you know, pushing the referee and having a go at the ref. So rightly so, that changed the game. The 3 red cards really. You know, there's no manager there on the sidelines to motivate his players, and to lose 2 of your main players there on the pitch, and one of the players is going to be out probably for a longer spell on the sidelines as well. So yeah, that pretty much changed the game. Obviously Bruno had to wait 5 minutes, scored in a big moment for 1-1. We're back in the game then, and we picked up the pace, the intensity, the tempo, and then, you know, we pressed Fulham high at the pitch. Sabitzer scored for 2-1, brilliant. And then United just took more control and dominated the game. And then, you know, United put the pressure on, and Bruno scores again for 3-1. Just went for power, and that was the game. Dead and buried, 3-1 up. But for me though, I think not many players didn't have a great game. Obviously, there was a 1 or 2 that could have had a few good performances out there, but yeah, we saw out the game. Game management and decision making was vital, and we're brilliant in spells in the second half. But yeah, overall it was okay, but we've got to be better in the semi-final for sure. What a crazy game, what a win it was. A dramatic ending to the game, 2 red cards. Great comeback though, after being 1-0 down after 50 minutes. But we had to really dig deep. We found a way to win and eventually got over the line. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, the 2 red cards had changed the game after about 70 odd minutes as well. So obviously, Fulham were the much better team for 70 odd minutes, which you have to agree to, which they were. They were a much better team up until then. But obviously, when the 2 red cards had happened, it completely changed the game. The heads had gone. It collapsed. Helped Manchester United as well to obviously get over the line. Win the game 3-1. Losing 2 men out there on the pitch. I thought Willian obviously definitely caused United problems on the left side as well. Eventually, we did find a way to win. That's the most impressive thing, that we found a way to win. It's great determination, great fight, great passion, great heart as well. Obviously, great team spirit, great character as well to come from behind as well, and great fight as well from the players. It's not easy to come back from behind. Obviously, you know, we were in a position where it looked like they could have got another goal. Took control. United could have easily been out. Obviously, the 2 red cards completely changed the game. Hit the nail on the head. Fulham United just capitalised. They had 2 less men there on the pitch, which didn't help Fulham. They had to change shape. Didn't work out for Fulham, but obviously it worked out more for Manchester United in the end. Willian's handball led to a penalty for United. Bruno had a 5-minute wait for a big moment to make it 1-1. Was it a clear penalty? And also 3 red cards for Marco Silva, William and Mitrovic. I thought it was a clear handball. I don't know what Fulham are trying to claim. I don't know what Marco Silva was trying to get out of it. I think it was a clear handball. I couldn't really see from my angle where I was sat. I could only see it on the replay. From my replay, it was a clear handball. Stopped the ball going in as well. And that sort of transition that we had, it was a good build-up play from Manchester United. And it looked like it was going to go in as well. Obviously, that was good play from Jadon Sancho as well. It was going to go in. I think it was a clear handball. Don't know what their managers claiming as well. Don't know why Marco Silva was having to go at the 4th official and the referee for, which obviously got him sent off as well. Obviously, the 3 red cards had obviously changed the game as well. Mainly the 2 players that got sent off helped Manchester United in a way, because obviously once their heads had gone, they collapsed. That was it, really. They had no manager in the dugout as well, which didn't help them to motivate them whatsoever. United capitalised in a way. The 3 red cards were, thought the referee dealt with it very well. The 3 red cards, obviously William was a straight red card. Marco Silva deserved it as well for his rant as well. Also Mitrovic as well, who's going to serve a lengthy ban as well. At the end of the day, I thought the officials dealt with it really well in a big game, in an FA Cup quarter-final as well. Crazy game to witness as well. Crazy 60 seconds. At the end of the day, United got the job done, got the win. Got lucky. We take it at the end of the day. Who is my man of the match? I thought there were some good players that had a good game. Some of them didn't really have a great game. I thought De Gea had a good game, made 3 good saves. Sabitzer was alright. Don't think he had a great game, to be honest with you. I thought Shaw was good. I thought Martinez was good. Maguire was okay. I thought McTominay not great. Sabitzer had a good game. Bruno had a good game. Rashford was okay. Weghorst was okay. Sancho good in spells as well. I think the man obviously had to get through to the semi-finals here. There's obviously got to be Bruno Fernandes. He's got deserved my man of the match, and I thought obviously Martinez played very well as well. He was rock solid, and I thought De Gea kept us in the tie as well. I think those players deserve a lot of praise in that game. It took a lot out of us to get there in the end, got over the line, and we did what we had to do. How do we beat Brighton and Hove Albion in this semi-final? Now obviously we've got Brighton in the semi-final now at Wembley. I think this is going to be a really good game against Brighton. I think obviously we due Brighton a bit of revenge after the start of the season. I think Brighton's not going to be an easy game. I think Brighton, they know that they're in a major cup competition. Maybe the FA Cup's not on their list, but I think it's all down to what we do. We want to knock these out. We want to get to the final of the FA Cup, and obviously if we win this, we'll be returning yet again to Wembley in May as well for that final, whether if it's going to be Sheffield United or Man City as well. So that's going to set up a mouth-watering final as well. So obviously, coming into this game against Brighton are having a fantastic season. Obviously they did have Graham Potter in at the start of the season, but then obviously they went through a period where, when Graham Potter went off to Chelsea, they brought in Roberto De Zerbi. I think there would have been a lot of question marks over De Zerbi of how well he was going to do at Brighton as well. I think obviously De Zerbi's coming with some very good ideas at Brighton. Obviously he's changed. I think they're playing much better football than they've ever done before. I think they're enjoying it a lot more as well. And I think Brighton obviously, pushing for Europe as well. So Brighton, I expect them to give us a very good game on the day against... I expect Brighton to give us a very good game on the day. I think Brighton will just focus on their game plan of what they're going to do in this game against us as well. But Manchester United, a few things for me. I think we have to be able to, get going the right. We know that we've been at Wembley before. We have to go in with the right mindset, the right mentality. We know this is going to be a competitive game. I think this is going to be an end-to-end game. It's going to be a physical game. I think Brighton, they'll give it absolutely everything that they've got. It's their big moment in a big, semi-final at Wembley. It's a big, massive day out for their fans. So they're going to be winning. They're going to be up for this game. But United, we're due revenge now after the start of the season as well. So I think United have got to take this into account of let's get revenge and let's knock these out. It'd be bittersweet as well to knock these out as well. And Brighton, they're in a good way. They're obviously performing well. They're obviously in a good run of form at the minute as well, pushing for Europe as well. De Zerbi's doing some. De Zerbi's definitely getting everything out of the players. They're playing well in terms of, doing what they want to do to teams. They've beaten some very good teams over over the time, but as well. But to get to this stage though, Brighton, they've not played anyone great, to be honest. They've played Grimsby, they were terrible. They've played a poor Liverpool side as well. So I think they've not had that test really. And I think this will be their big test yet. And United, we have to be able to prepare well for a game like this against Brighton. It won't be easy, it will be tough. I expect a fantastic game against these lot. We have to be able to stay composed, and we have to be able to stay in a game like this as well. And in games like this against Brighton, you've got to be able to defend properly, and you have to keep your shape as well. We've got to be organised as well. But Brighton are a very good team, and but yeah, I think they play proactive football, and they play with initiative. They play attacking football, and it's fantastic football that they play though as well. Obviously, they're very clever, intelligent as well, but they'll put the ball into dangerous areas. They'll try to win in every department, which they did against Liverpool. They'll try to outclass you and outpass you. They'll be aggressive, very direct, play with width, get on the front foot. They'll bring the energy. They'll bring the high intensity, the tempo. They'll be rampant. They'll be ruthless, skillful side. They're well organised. They'll defend well. They'll make it difficult to play through them. They try to frustrate teams. Defensively, they'll be tight and compact, very physical. They'll make runs in from behind. They'll give it everything that they've got. It's their FA Cup final against Manchester United. They'll get between the lines. They'll cause us problems. They'll like to come forward, take risks, and they'll want to be brave as well. But in a game like this, we've got to defend properly. Defensively, we've got to be organised. Got to keep it tight and compact. Defensively, frustrate them. Got to be ruthless, relentless, aggressive, high intensity, high tempo. Play with energy, create the chances, take your chances. Got to be clinical. Get the crosses into the box, drag them out of position. Set pieces could come into play. We need to play with width. Get between the lines. Got to close them down. Don't let them get back in the game. Don't leave any spaces open. They'll get tight. Don't let them get a shot off. Sustain attacks. Do the basics. Win your 50-50s and win your second balls. Win your duels. Don't let them get back. Don't let them back. Put them on the back foot. Keep possession. Fullbacks have got to be effective. Force them to make mistakes. Put them under pressure. Don't let the wingers cut back inside. Don't afford to make mistakes. Make the runs in from behind. Don't get pulled out of position. Be explosive. Keep Welbeck and Ferguson quiet. And obviously they're going to be a bit of a handful as well. And obviously Brighton, they play with that 3-5. I think it's the 3-5-2 system that they like to play. And obviously, they're very compact in the midfield as well. And they like to play with that extra man as well. So they're definitely going to give it everything that they've got. So they're going to be well organised themselves. They're going to bring a game plan here. We've got to be ready for a game like this. And in a big game like this, in a semi-final at Wembley, you have to be able to win over that midfield battle. And I think if we can get hold of that midfield battle, we should get Christian Eriksen back for this game. We will have Casemiro back for this game. So we have to be able to win over this midfield, over Brighton. And in a game like this, it's all about getting the first goal. If we can get the first goal against Brighton, United will look to try and control and dominate that game for sure. Getting into the goals now, Bruno steps up and scores a penalty for 1-1. Second goal, Fernandes passes the ball to Sancho. Sancho puts a ball through to Shaw. Shaw drills in a cross, and Sabitzer flicks it for 2-1. Third goal, Shaw passes the ball to Fred. Fred picks out Bruno. Bruno goes for power and scores for 3-1. Getting into the stats now, possession for Man United, it was 56%, and for Fulham it was 44%. Goals for Man United, it was 3, for Fulham it was 1. Total shots for Man United, it was 16, and for Fulham it was 12. Shots on target for Man United, it was 10, and for Fulham it was 6. Total passes for Man United, it was 477 passes, and for Fulham it was 352 passes. The pass accuracy for Man United, it was 87%, and for Fulham it was 80%. Getting into the substitutions now, McTominay went off for Antony. Talk about Scott's performance. Positionally disciplined without the ball. He got forward into a goal scoring chance just before the pause. Rashford went off for Fred. Talk about Marcus' performance. Started United's sole creator in the first half. He was usually quiet in the second and come off after United took the lead. Next up we've got Brighton. Obviously we've got Brighton in the second leg. This won't be easy against Brighton. It's obviously going to be a tough game against Brighton. What to expect against Brighton? Brighton, they know it's their FA Cup final. They're in a semi-final of the FA Cup. They're at Wembley. They're in a big stage. It's a big moment for their fans. They want to give it a game to Manchester United. put out their best 11 out there, and they're going to give it everything that they've got. The one thing, what they are going to do is they'll try and have a strong first half, and that will mean they'll want to come on the front foot, they'll press us, they'll be aggressive, they'll be ruthless, they'll get into some good positions, they'll put that ball into dangerous areas, try expose our weaknesses, and what they're going to do is when they get into these very good areas high up the pitch, they'll look for those spaces high up the pitch, and when they get into these sort of moments, that's what Brighton are good in, and they try to take those chances and they'll try to be clinical. So that's where defensively we're going to have to keep it tight and compact. We're going to have to be able to frustrate them as a team, as a unit. We're going to have to defend well as well. We're going to have to be organised as well. Defensively, be strong, frustrate them as much as you can. In a game like this against Brighton, we have to be able to get hold of that midfield. They might go with that extra man in the midfield. We have to get over that midfield. What we've got to do against Brighton is you've got to do your basics right. Win your 50-50s, win your second balls, win your duels. We have got to do these little simple things that we've got to do. We've got to get to our basics in this game against Brighton. Brighton are very good. They'll turn up to a game like this. We've got to be ready. We have to go in with the right mindset, the right mentality. One game away of getting to the final now. It's potentially Man City or Sheffield United. We've got to take it one game at a time first, and then we can look forward to this game against Brighton. They're a fantastic side. Brighton, they'll look to bring their A game. But in a game like this, what United have got to do is we've got to start well. We can't afford to have a slow start. We have to be able to stay in the game as long as we can. Maybe when we get set pieces, we have to be able to take our set pieces when we can. When we get these chances in front of goal, we have to create the chances. We have to score on our chances as well. And we've got to be clinical in front of goal. It'll be nice in a game like this against Brighton to get revenge over them. It'll be bittersweet to knock these out. It'll be nice to get revenge over the first game of the season as well. We've not played them since pretty much August. Obviously going through a bit of a transitional period because obviously they've got a new manager. But he's going to give it everything that they've got. The players are going to give it everything that they've got. United have got to be able to turn up to a game like this against Brighton. In a game like this though, you have to be able to perform well for a full 90 minutes. You've got to be able to get the first goal. First goal's always going to be crucial in games like this. It's going to be a competitive game. It's going to be a physical game, and we've got to be ready for that as well. They're going to bring their A game, Brighton. It's going to be a tough game. We're going to be in for a tough game. But in a game like this, we're going to have to be able to dig deep, and we're going to have to be able to find a way to win this game as well against Brighton, which I think we will. I've got full belief in this team that we can find a way to win, beat this Brighton side. We have to give it everything that we've got. We've got to perform well. We've got to turn up. We've got to prepare well for a game like this as well. We've got to go with the right mentality, the right mindset. For ourselves, we have to be able to be aggressive, ruthless, rampant, on the front foot, player of energy, player of intent, player of high intensity, high tempo, take the game to them. And Brighton, they're just going to give it absolutely everything that they've got. I won't be surprised if they throw everything with all their efforts in that first half and they'll be drained out in the second. For Brighton, they've got nothing to lose. United have got everything to lose because United are going to try, obviously, go for this trophy as well. Have to be able to perform well for a full 90 minutes. Got to turn up to a fixture like this against Brighton, the biggest stage, at Wembley Stadium. And come on lads, you know what you've got to do here. You've been in this position before against Newcastle. Go and do it again. Let's go and make more memories, and let's get in to the final as well. You're one game away from doing that as well. All you've got to do is just play well for a full 90 minutes and you should be fine in a game like this against Brighton as well. We have to be able to play with courage, intent, conviction, purpose, and we've got to turn up as well. Brighton are scoring 3.2 goals per game. Brighton are conceding 0.5 goals per game. Brighton are 7th in the Premier League. Players to look out for is Sanchez, Lamptey, Webster, Dunk, Colwill, Espenupin, Weltman, March, McAllister, Gross, Lallana, Modder, Enzisco, Mitoma, Cancelo, Gilmore, Welbeck, Sarmiento, Undav and Ferguson. Hope you guys are enjoying the video. Be sure to leave a like. Subscribe to my channel for new, and I'll see you guys in a video in the next couple of days. And peace.